This video is brought to you by my two books, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist and The Blues Guitar Bible. Want to learn about modes, harmony, scales, chord substitution and keys? Or maybe you're interested in supercharging your blues guitar rhythm and lead chops. Whatever you're interested in, I guarantee you will be hitting the fast lane to progress with either of these works. Both feature video demonstrations and tutorials, loads of tabs and jam tracks to play along with, and I promise you, everything is explained in crystal clear plain English. Check out the links in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now, if you're watching on Thursday, you possibly saw me taking delivery of this guitar here. A rather nice Telecaster style guitar. It is specifically a vintage reissued series, V75. I didn't buy this guitar, I didn't order it, I didn't even know it was on its way to me, but it turned up the other day, courtesy of a very generous chap called Jim, who is a viewer of this channel and he likes what I do, so he just sent me this guitar as a gift. That's just, I'm speechless. I really am. That level of generosity is, well, it's not often heard of, is it? And I'm incredibly grateful, Jim. You are an absolute gentleman, sir. And I hope you got that little package that I sent to you, just a little bit of early Christmas cheer. Thank you so much, Jim. You have, however, left me with something of a problem, because now I have to sit down and blether away into this webcam and give you some kind of objective and unbiased review of this guitar. I tell you what, I'll do my best, starting off with what this guitar sounds like in a mix. And as always, you'll find a full tab for that piece of music in both Guitar Pro and PDF formats, along with a clip of me playing it and a jam track to play along with yourself. All of that is, as usual, up on my Patreon page. There's the address, link in the description, and as I'm sure you know by now, $3 or £3-ish a month gets you access to all of these additional goodies that go along with these YouTube videos. And of course, a massive, massive thank you to everyone who supports me in that, or any of the other ways, including the Tier 2 level level of Patreon membership, where I think it's about $6 a month, where you get all that kind of stuff as well, plus some extra video content and a twice monthly hangout on Zoom with me and the other tier 2 lads. Great little get together that I can really recommend it. So any of the ways that you can support me, they're all linked in the description. Thank you so much to everybody who clicks on any of those links and helps me keep the lights on around here. It is genuinely appreciated. So a little bit more housekeeping before we go any further. As usual, the source of the guitar tones on that little demo were the Blue Guitar Amp 1. Most of it was on the Vintage channel, the crunchy power chord stuff, the open G tuning riff kind of thing on the Vintage channel, and all of the clean parts as well were also on the Vintage channel, but just with the guitar's volume control rolled off. That is one thing that I've noticed as a deficiency in the past on Vintage branded guitars. I'll say Vintage branded, so you don't think I'm meaning like old guitars from the 50s and 60s. On Vintage branded guitars, the volume control is often the deficiency. You turn it down and everything turns to mud. Well, clearly that didn't happen on this guitar. The shoutier high again stuff, that was again the Blue Guitar Amp 1 on the classic channel with the gain boost activated there. So, you know, not exactly Slipknot levels of gain, but, you know, quite a gainy kind of sound. And what was impressive to me about this guitar is some guitars, you plug them into like a high-ish gain, shall we say, amp or rig of some description, and you lose all sense of what guitar is being played. It could be a Strat, it could be a Tele, it could be something with humbuckers, but in many cases all you tend to hear is the amplifier gain and not much else. Well, to my ears at least, even on the higher gain settings on that demo part there, you could still hear that this was a Telecaster style guitar. It still had that kind of spank and that bite and that kind of raw edged bark. It had that what I often call the bottom end of a grand piano kind of resonance to it. You know, so full marks to you know, this guitar for that. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put a link to the full spec down in the description, but just the headline figures are exactly what you'd expect. It's an alder body, full thickness alder body, by the way. If you measure it with the old calipers there, it comes out at 45 and a bit millimeters, which is, you know, it's not some kind of slimmed down skinny body that you get on you know, some budget Telecaster style guitars, or Strat style guitars for that matter. These weigh in at about 320 quid. The list price is a shade over 400, but if you shop around you'll find, I think GAC has them in for 320 or thereabouts. So, you know, it's not exactly an entry level guitar, but it's not, you know, kind of, I wouldn't even, would you call this bottom end of mid-range pricing? I would say it's sort of, it's 300 quid or thereabouts. So there are plenty of guitars in that sort of price range where they do sort of sacrifice the thickness of the body. Older body, as I said, maple neck with 22 medium jumbo-ish frets, satin finish on the neck, which is always nice. No fancy stuff, no contoured heel there. I wonder how much it costs to do a contoured heel as opposed to just the blocky heel like this. But then again, as you saw in that demo there, I was kind of noodling away up the dusty end quite happily without it getting in my way. So, you know, are these contoured heels and sort of, you know, where it's all sort of chamfered away and everything, are they that necessary? It's nice to have, but, you know, you can play up the top end without it, as you saw me doing, as we've seen generations of guitarists playing on sort of this style of neck joint. Got a nice mint green. I don't know how well this is coming across. Let me get that ring light out of the reflection. Nice mint green kind of scratch plate, which just takes that sort of edge off of it. You know, I often think of a big lump of white plastic on the front of a guitar often looks a little bit sort of clinical, you know, a little bit, you know, it lacks warmth in terms of the way it looks, but this is just sort of just off-white enough so that it kind of loses that sort of harshness, I think. I tell you what, let's have a little bit of a look at some weights and measures that I've done for this guitar. The usual set of stats here. It's not a lightweight, it's 3.78 kilos, so whatever that translates to in old money. I'm 57 years old, and I was educated from day one at primary school in the metric system, so you know I find it easier to just think in those terms. I know how much, instinctively I know how much a kilo weighs, but a pound is something that I'm a little bit hazy about, so apologies for that. Likewise, nut width 43 and a bit millimeters. You can see quite a comfortable sort of C-shaped neck profile there from those from that contour gauge thing there. So first and 12th fret neck profiles. Fretboard radius of 10 inches. That won't please the purists who like the sort of 7 and a bit old style Fender, but that 10 inches for me is close enough to the modern Fender radius of 9.5 that I don't really notice any difference between them. Quite a vintage set of pickup readings there. Alnico pickups, by the way. Probably Alnico 5, I would think, but 6.57 in the bridge, 6.66 in the neck, and in the middle 3.35 K. So you know, nothing there that's going to scare the horses when it comes to pickup output. So what do I think of this guitar then? What are my thoughts on it? Well, you know, as I said, it was sent to me as a gift by a very generous viewer of this channel, so I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, do you know what, it's awful. Yeah, I'm never going to be playing this one. But you know, even if I had bought it, even if it was, you know, something that I'd spent my own money on, and I could be entirely objective about it, I would still probably be telling you what I'm going to say now. It is absolutely gorgeous to play. Neck profiles are the kind of thing that you either like or you don't. You know, this feels very comfortable to me. It's very similar, in fact, to the Telecaster you can see on the back wall there, that Fender Nashville Telecaster, the Sunburst one with the tortoiseshell pickguard. It feels immediately familiar after I've been playing that a couple of days ago, and I feel right at home playing on this. I don't know if Jim lavished any attention on this guitar when, you know, before he sent it to me, but it is beautifully set up. I'm gonna, that action there is sort of between 1.25 and 1.5 millimeters, so that's right in the happy zone for me. Effortless to play, strung up with 9 to 42 gauge strings, which is my preferred gauge these days. The Wilkinson compensated saddles that you can see there, I don't know if you can see that, but they're not just the barrel kind of saddles, they're the ones with a little kind of compensated kind of edges on them. Intonation is absolutely fine. I haven't measured it on a strobe tuner, but just kind of using the tuner in Reaper on when I was plugged in recording there, measured the intonation, and it's absolutely fine. It's a great little workhorse guitar. You know, it captures that soul and that spirit of what a Telecaster does. You know, and it's about, as I say, about 300 quid. You know, it does I often say this about kind of budget versions of guitars. Like, you know, if you're wanting a guitar that makes Telecaster style noises, then you've got to have a very, very, I think, convincing and good reason to need to spend any more money on one than what you'd have to spend on this. Great little guitar, fantastic little workhorse. It handles gain well without becoming an anonymous sounding guitar. You know, as I said earlier, it still sounds like a Telecaster even when you throw some gain at it. And alright, I wasn't doing that under gigging conditions, but I was still kind of clouting out a bit of volume in this room here when I was recording that demo, and under these conditions there was absolutely no microphonic kind of squealy kind of feedback from the pickups. I mean, would that be the same at a gig? Well, who knows? But then again, I played Fender Telecasters that squealed and fed back when you showed them too much gain at sort of stage volume. So, you know, let's say it did suffer from that, then it's hardly something that you can you know, be too harsh a judge of this guitar. But yeah, I like it. It's a great little guitar, plays nice, sounds like the kind of thing that you expect it to sound like, does its job well, and gets on with being a Telecaster style guitar without making a fuss about it. I am really impressed. So that is the video for today, folks. That is my review of the Vintage Reissued Series V75 Telecaster style guitar, very generously sent to me by the wonderfully kind Jim. Jim, you are a gentleman, sir. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Thank you so much for this wonderful gift. I will treasure it, and you're probably going to be seeing it on plenty of videos in the coming weeks and months. But that is it for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and if that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. And why not drop me a like as well while you're at it. Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time. We drink beer and talk about music and guitars and other things, basically whatever crops up. It's a great way to kick off the weekend, I think, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now, and thanks again, Jim. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.